Three dirt cheap pickups nobody buys, but they'll outlast every new Toyota for 400,000 miles. A guy at the dealership last Tuesday tried to talk a young electrician out of a Nissan Frontier sitting in the back corner of the lot, steered him toward a new Tacoma at $42,000. I watched from the service bay. The Frontier was $7,800, same engine family. I know which one hits 400,000 miles. Today, I'm showing you three dirt cheap pickups the market ignores. A forgotten Nissan, a truck nobody knows Mazda built, and an old Toyota that beats the new one at its own game using Toyota's own iron. Number 3, 2005 to 2012 Nissan Frontier. I can already tell you what you're thinking. It's small, it's ugly, the bed's not big enough. Go ahead and get all of that out of your system, because what's sitting under that hood is the VQ40DE V6, the same engine Nissan put in the Pathfinder, the Xterra, and the 4Runner fighting Nissan Equator. And it is one of the most overbuilt, naturally aspirated truck engines ever bolted into a vehicle. A contractor I know, been a customer of mine for 11 years, came in 3 summers ago convinced he needed a new truck. His Frontier had just crossed 210,000 miles, and he figured it owed him nothing. I asked him what was actually wrong with it. He said, "Nothing, it just feels old." I told him that feeling was going to cost him $35,000. He kept the Frontier. Last month, he came back in for an oil change at 267,000 miles. We talked about his new kitchen remodel. The truck has not been back in between for anything except scheduled maintenance. Here is what makes the VQ40DE different from every other engine in this class. Nissan over-engineered it for the Xterra's off-road demands, which means it ended up dramatically overbuilt for a truck that mostly hauls lumber and drives to job sites. It is a naturally aspirated design, so no turbo to fail, no intercooler to crack. It runs a timing chain, not a belt, so there is no expensive interval hanging over your head at 90,000 miles. The combustion chamber design runs cooler than most competitors, which is a primary reason these engines do not burn oil, as they age the way so many modern turbocharged units do. Owners regularly report 250,000 to 300,000 miles without touching the internals. I have personally seen one with 318,000 on the clock that still held factory oil pressure. Now, I will be straight with you because I am not here to paint a fantasy. The 2005 to 2012 Frontiers with the automatic transmission had a known issue with the radiator's internal cooler. Sound familiar? Same family of problem as the Xterra. If the cooler fails, coolant can cross-contaminate the transmission fluid, and you end up with a very expensive milkshake. Nissan acknowledged it. The fix is a stand-alone external transmission cooler that routes around the radiator entirely. Cost is under $200 in parts and 2 hours of labor. Do it whether you need to or not. The inspection checklist. First, pull the transmission dipstick before you do anything else. Clean red fluid means the previous owner was either lucky or diligent. Pink, milky, or burnt-smelling fluid means you walk away without negotiating. Second, with the engine cold, start it and listen hard for the first 5 seconds. A brief rattle that disappears is normal. A rattle that stays is a timing chain tensioner wearing out. It is not a catastrophic failure, but it is a real negotiation chip. Third, get underneath and look at the rear differential. The factory LSD units in higher spec Frontiers can develop a whine when the fluid has never been changed. Budget $80 in fluid and demand a discount. Fourth, check the bed for rust through around the wheel wells. The body on these trucks is honest, not pampered, and neglected ones show it. Who should buy this? Anyone who needs a working truck, and I mean actually uses a truck as a tool, and refuses to spend $40,000 on something new. If you haul materials, tow a small trailer, or need something that will start at 0 degrees without complaint, this is your vehicle. Who should skip it? If you are towing anything over 5,000 pounds regularly, the Frontier is not your truck. And if cabin refinement matters to you, the interior is not going to impress anyone. It drives like a truck because it is one and it does not pretend otherwise. Mechanic math. Find a clean 2008 to 2011 with under 150,000 miles for $7,000 to $9,500. Spend $200 on the cooler bypass. Change the diff fluid and drive it to 300,000 miles on oil changes and tires. There is almost nothing else to budget for. Number 2. 2001 to 2007 Mazda B. I know what happened in your head when you read that. Mazda made a truck? Yes. And that exact reaction is why you can buy one of the most bulletproof mid-sized truck platforms ever built for the price of a used lawnmower. Here is the history that makes this vehicle extraordinary. The Mazda B series from 2001 to 2007 is a Ford Ranger wearing a different badge. That is not a criticism. That is the entire point. Ford and Mazda had a manufacturing partnership, and the B series was built on the same line, with the same frame, the same suspension geometry, and critically, the same engines. The 3.0-liter Vulcan V6 and the 4.0-liter SO HCV6 are Ford truck engines that have been in continuous production and service long enough that every parts store in the country stocks everything for them 3 rows deep. Think about what that means if something goes wrong. You are not calling a Mazda dealer. You are calling the same parts counter you call for anything else. The mechanic down the street has worked on this drivetrain 100 times under a Ford badge and does not charge specialist rates. There is no mystery here, no orphan platform problem, no waiting on back-ordered components from overseas. It is a Ranger. It just says Mazda on the front. A woman brought one into the shop 4 years ago, a 2004 B4000 with 138,000 miles. Convinced it was dying because she had been turned away by 2 mechanics who told her they did not work on Mazdas. I looked at it for 11 minutes, changed the fuel filter, cleaned the MAF sensor, and charged her $90. She has since put another 60,000 miles on it. She told me she tried to get her son to buy one. He bought a new Colorado instead. I did not say anything. I did not have to. The engineering case is simple. The 4.0-liter SOHC V6, which is what you want in these trucks, is a naturally aspirated pushrod adjacent design with a timing chain. No belt, no turbo, no dual clutch. It is an engine from an era when Ford over-engineered working truck powertrains because they had to last in fleets. The automatic transmission in these is the 5R5E, a proven Ford unit with a long service history. If the fluid has been changed on schedule, these transmissions run indefinitely. If it is not, they can develop shift flare on the 1 to 2 upshift. That is your primary check. Honest weaknesses because you deserve them. The 3.0-liter Vulcan V6 is adequate but meaningfully less durable than the 4.0. Target the B4000 trim and the 4.0 engine specifically. The four-wheel drive actuators on these trucks can fail, and a failed actuator means you get stuck in 4WD or cannot engage it at all. Cycle the system on your test drive. Full 2WD, 4 high, 4 low, back again. Every mode, clean engagement. If it hesitates or grinds, that is money off. Inspection checklist. First, the transmission fluid. Same rule as every truck on this list. Red and clean is good, dark and burnt is a conversation about price or a reason to leave. Second, the four-wheel drive engagement as mentioned. Third, check the frame for rust along the rear cross member. These trucks were sold in salt states, and the undercarriage on neglected examples tells the whole story. Fourth, and this one is specific to the B series, check the rubber boots on the front sway bar end links. They crack and tear on these trucks, and worn ones cause a pronounced clunk over bumps that terrifies buyers who do not know what it is. It is a $40 fix. Use it to knock $300 off the price. Who should buy it? Anyone who wants a compact truck that is genuinely capable, has parts available at every store on Earth, and costs less than most people spend on a weekend. This is also a brilliant first truck for a teenager or a young buyer who needs reliability on a tight budget. Who should skip it? If you need to tow over 5,500 pounds or carry a full crew cab, the B Series cannot help you. And if the Mazda badge bothers you, just remember what is actually under the hood and get over it. Real numbers. A clean 2004 to 2007 B4000 with 120,000 to 160,000 miles runs $5,500 to $8,000. A same-year Ranger in the same condition runs $9,000 to $12,000. You are buying the identical truck for $3,000 to $4,000 less because buyers are afraid of a badge. That badge fear is your profit. If this is the kind of straight talk that actually helps you spend money smarter, hit the subscribe button right now. I have a video coming on the exact truck engines I would never touch at any price. The ones that look cheap on the lot and turn into a financial disaster 6 months later. You are going to want to see that one before you buy anything. Number 1, 2005 to 2015 Toyota Tacoma first and second generation. Here's the part I could not say to that electrician in the dealership parking lot without it turning into a scene. The pickup truck that will outlast a brand new $42,000 Tacoma is an old Tacoma. And I am going to tell you exactly why, because the gap between what Toyota used to build and what they sell today is the single most important thing a truck buyer can understand right now. Let me start with what changed, because the new Tacoma has a problem hiding behind a very good reputation. From 2016 onward, Toyota moved the Tacoma to a 3.5-liter V6 with direct injection and an Atkinson cycle. They chased fuel economy numbers and they got them. But direct injection means carbon buildup on the intake valves over time. A problem the old port injection engines were completely immune to. And the newer 6-speed automatic in the third generation has been widely reported as one of the worst shifting transmissions Toyota has put in a truck in 30 years. Owners complained loud enough that Toyota issued a technical service bulletin. On a Toyota, that almost never happens. And meanwhile, the engine they walked away from is a weapon. The 2005 to 2015 Tacoma ran the 1GR-FE 4.0-liter V6, a naturally aspirated port-injected engine making 236 to 239 horsepower with a timing chain, no turbo, and a combustion design so over-engineered that Toyota used a version of it in Land Cruisers sold into markets that have to run on questionable fuel and cannot get roadside assistance. These engines do not care about mileage. They do not care about heat. They do not care about neglect the way a modern direct injection engine does. Owners report 300,000 miles routinely. The transmission paired to it, the A75 OF 5-speed automatic, had been in production and proving itself for years before it went into the Tacoma. I had a customer 2 years ago, retired Army, bought a 2008 Tacoma TRD Sport with 161,000 miles for $14,500. His wife thought he had taken leave of his senses. She wanted the new one. He called me first. I told him to buy it. A year later, he is at 194,000 miles, and he has spent money on one set of all-terrain tires and a front differential service I told him was overdue. His wife now wants to know why their son is financing a 2024 at $39,000 a month. The honest part, because I will not skip it, the second-generation Tacomas from 2005 to 2015 had a frame rust problem in salt states that became serious enough for Toyota to issue an extended warranty and, in some cases, full frame replacements. This is the most important check on any Tacoma from this era. Get under the truck with a flashlight and a screwdriver. Tap the frame rails. Solid thud is fine. If your screwdriver punches through, you walk. A surface rust is cosmetic. Scale rust on structural sections of the frame is a different conversation entirely. In the Rust Belt, demand a frame inspection report or have your own mechanic put it on a lift before money changes hands. Second known issue, the lower ball joints on the front suspension wear faster than they should, and Toyota extended a warranty on them. On any truck in this era, over 100,000 miles, budget a ball joint inspection and potentially a replacement. It is not expensive, it is just scheduled. The inspection checklist: first, the frame as described. Non-negotiable. Second, feel every gear in the automatic on the test drive. Clean, decisive upshifts and downshifts. Any hesitation or clunk on deceleration and you want a second look. Third, check the rear differential for a whine under load, which indicates the fluid has never been changed. Fourth, inspect the leaf spring shackles for cracks and the rear axle seals for weeping. High mileage trucks that have been used hard, show it here first. Fifth, look for the TRD skid plate if it is a 4x4. A truck that was wheeled hard may have damage underneath that. A clean exterior hides completely. Who should buy this? Anyone who understands that the best Tacoma money can buy is the one Toyota built before they started chasing efficiency ratings. If you want a truck that will genuinely reach 400,000 miles, start a small business with it, tow a trailer every weekend, and hand it to your kid when you are done, this is it. If you want all-wheel drive in the snow or genuine off-road credibility at a third of the new truck price, nothing in this class touches it. Who should skip it? If you need a full crew cab with 4 real adults in the back, the Tacoma Access Cab will frustrate you. And if you are in a Rust Belt state and cannot find a clean frame, walk away. There are enough of these in dry climate states that it is worth waiting for the right one. Real numbers: a 2012 to 2015 Tacoma V6 4x4 with 150,000 to 180,000 miles runs $14,000 to $19,000 because the market has finally figured out the reputation. Earlier 2007 to 2010 models with similar miles can still be found for $10,000 to $14,000. Compare that to $42,000 new plus interest plus the depreciation hit the moment you leave the lot. You are buying the better drive train, the proven transmission, and the engine without carbon buildup concerns for less than half the price. So there are your three. The Nissan Frontier with the VQ40 that simply refuses to wear out, sitting on lots for civic money while the internet argues about Tundras. The Mazda B-Series, which is a Ford Ranger in a Halloween costume with parts on every shelf in America and a price that reflects the badge, not the engineering. And the old Tacoma, the one with the engine Toyota trusted in Land Cruisers, the transmission they had already proven for a decade, and not a single direct injection carbon problem in sight. That electrician at the dealership went back the next day and bought the Frontier. The salesman called it a mistake on his way out the door. I watched that truck leave the lot. Engine didn't miss a beat. The badges fell out of fashion. The engineering never did. Hit like if this saved you from an expensive decision. Subscribe because I have that engine avoidance video coming, and it covers a few names on this list's competition that are going to surprise you. Take care of the right truck, and it will take care of you for a very long time. See you in the next one.